So we're back again, this time with a GM5 Mercy / Moira VOD. Let's dive into it. Key moment number 1. I know I should have switched to healing Cassidy a little earlier, but I don't think the outcome would be so different. After this fight, I guessed Kiri because we were regrouping and I thought I'd have time to go with Winston and Soldier, but they just went in and I lost line of sight. It's your fault! What could I have done differently? Was this fight even winnable from the Mercy's perspective? Okay. Note, I am on this rank by complete accident. Seriously, go check my profile. Originally, I'm Diamond 321, High Plat / Diamond in Overwatch 1. This season, out of nowhere, Blizzard decided to give me a bunch of win streaks, so I climbed up to GM 2. And unsurprisingly, I'm now going down again. I main Mercy, and I'm still struggling a bit with her changes, but my Moira, Keiko, and Ana are reasonable, even though my aim is not consistent. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I think I like to be GM, and I like to keep winning, lol. Should I have switched earlier? Help, please. Okay, this one's an interesting one, a super interesting one, chatting chatters, because this is the one that we haven't covered so far with the ranked inflation issue. Let's check this out.
Your prayers are answered.
This one's spicy.
Bad guys, take them out.
Enemy here.
Mercy picking this is okay. They also have Mercy.
Good choice.
I see an enemy.
Okay.
Behind you.
Fight is still happening.
I've got men.
Wait, until when? Until 155. And you play... We're gonna check out afterwards what you play. Now the fight is gonna be over. Okay. So it's... You say that you can play Moira, Kiriko, and Ana. Okay, and you're playing Mercy here. Kiriko's already taken. I'm thinking about the picks. First things first, I'm thinking about the picks, right?
I need healing.
That you have. So let's watch this again. It doesn't seem, by the way, just out of this team fight, it doesn't seem like that many mistakes. It seems like an issue with your team. Strategically speaking, by the way, okay? Don't feel an imposter. Strategically speaking, Soldier should go right side or go all the way behind them. You should stay with Soldier, while Winston, Cassidy, and Kiriko pressure from White Room. Because you can just surround them and pincer maneuver them. If you all stay inside here, then they, of course, will win the default battle because they have Sim, Ramatra. Like, they will win the brawl overall if you don't have Fox or ultimates. But still, let's analyze this.
Need some assistance.
Bad guys, take them out.
Enemy here.
I would say in this case, though, one thing. When you're going over here, you're not being contested at all, okay? So you want to be able to... For the enemies to kind of know where you are and maybe get some of their attention. They use that slow. In this case, I would probably suggest playing on the left side. This way, if your soldier wants to rotate to the side and he wants to off-angle, you can pick between damage boosting the soldier and damage boosting the Cassidy. Compared to if you play here, you can only see one of your team and the others. And not the soldier over here. So kind of like an anchor. You know, like if you play with Mercy, then this is your range. Okay, let's just do it like this. This would be your range to beam everybody. And you know that the enemies are not going to go for you because they're playing with a stacked up team comp with Ramatra, Symmetra, Cassidy, Lucio, Mercy. They're all going to stay together. So if you stay here, you can only get value out of your beam here. But if you stay here, for example, you can get value out of your beam here. So that's step number 1. Because who knows, maybe damage boosting soldier onto the side here might have mattered a lot.
Need some assistance.
One thing I want to cover though in this team comp specifically, when you group up like this and you're playing with Kiriko, this is GM, okay? In GM, usually ultimates matter way more because people know how to take advantage out of the ultimates being used. If you're playing Mercy plus Kiriko, your job as the Mercy is usually to just heal up the DPSs / damage boost them and let your Kiriko heal up the tank so they can get their Fox up fast. If you yoink some of the ult charge from the Kiriko, that's gonna result in a slower Fox and you might lose the team fight because of it. So damage boost the squishies. If you don't need to heal them because Kiriko can heal them, then just continuously damage boost. That's your job here. Valkyrie is not gonna do that much.
Enemy here.
So right now, for example, if you would have played with Soldier into the left side, then you would have been able to like damage boost him. Look at the angle that he had. perfect angle. Not to mention the fact that he might have went all the way in the back because he felt comfortable with you pocketing him. And also, you could have gotten some damage from the enemies instead of them focusing your Winston and your soldier. And you could have been able to like heal up the Winston here as well in case your Kiriko couldn't keep up with the healing. Cassidy dying here, being stuck by the way by the magnetic grenade is on Kiriko. It's not on you. But if you would have stayed here, you could have like healed him up, then stay with the soldier into the side. Damage boost. You gotta go for the res. You can ask for the res. You can ask for the Suzu if you use voice chat. Ask for the Suzu and go for the res. It would have been a risky one, but who knows, it might have worked because you got a kill already. And now this fight is over already. Okay, we back out. Revive, escape. They guess your team is gonna be back. Kiko dies. You're kind of pushed up. Do you guess this? Yeah, we can guess this. Look, this is why Soldier's saying that. Soldier's saying like, I need healing, you know? Like he wants you to go with him. The guess is okay though. He goes in a little bit too fast. But maybe the pathing could have been different. The guess is good. Should have reacted if you would have reacted a little bit faster. So it's just like this. When somebody dies, try to rest almost instantly or wait until everybody runs away. But if your team wants to engage, rest super fast. He gets the beat. You can't path to the Winston onto the right side, so you just stay with Cassidy and the fight is over. This entire team fight literally was lost. I feel like what he could have done more by you staying 5 meters away from the best position possible. If you would have stayed here, the entire team fight would have changed. You'd have been able to heal up Cassidy maybe when he got stuck by the magnetic grenade. You might have been able to damage boost the soldier and he wanted to go on the side because you saw Soldier. Like, Soldier's playing this really well, right? Soldier's playing this really well. You could have healed up the Winston on the side as well in case he's going to be very low HP. A lot of things could have happened. Instead of like staying here and playing safe, try to make the enemy shoot you. I know you're playing in GM. I know that it might be a little bit scary right now considering the ranked inflation. But if they don't have one-shot characters, then you can take a lot of damage without dying, okay? You can like take some damage and then let the support passive kick in. Now, I want to cover something, though, about poke before the team fights and stuff. I would recommend between Cassidy and Soldier that you stay with Soldier when he's off-angling, then with Cassidy if he's staying behind his Winston and Kiriko. Why? Because if you would have a shield tank, then damage boosting Cassidy would usually result in more explosive damage than damage boosting a soldier. But you not having a shield in your team means that Cassidy can't do that for free because you can get focused. Meanwhile, if you damage boost the soldier, it's not that explosive damage, but he's just gonna slowly and surely pepper them down. And if he knows that he has a pocket with him, then he can just like play off angly a little bit more, and the enemies can't catch you. So 2 things to cover in this team fight. Again, number 1, maybe play from this spot so you can get maximum value out of your GA. And I'm gonna do a super fast drawing to explain this because this is good to know on all heroes. Let me show you for a second. So this is where your team is. Okay, this is where your team is. This is where you are, and this is the range, right? And sometimes if one of your teammates goes here, it's all you can't get to them, right? You can't get to them, and this is the range where you can play from without the enemy shooting you, without the enemies contesting you. Now, if you would play, I'm gonna make you with blue now. If you'd play, let's say, somewhere over here, right? Then your range is kind of like this. Even though it's not perfect, you can still get to them. Same principle with a lot of supports, with a lot of cooldowns, and not necessarily with supports, with a bunch of them. This is about like the amount of space that you can take. Why did this? Because if the enemies are playing, let's just do this. You have one team here and one team here. Then, of course, the fight is going to happen like this. Bam, 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 bam. But if you have the forces attacking like this, then look at the pressure that they need to have compared to the pressure that you all have on them. Pincer maneuver. Let's continue. Not that many mistakes.
Much better.
But you know how it is? You didn't do mistakes, but you didn't carry either. I think that's the best thing to say. You weren't a liability. You weren't a liability. But you didn't contribute to winning that team fight at all. Continue. You could do more. 502 until 520. I was Mercy being picked here with your hero pool is okay. It's okay, okay? You couldn't go Moira. Kiriko was taken. Ana could have worked too if you wanted to try her out. You had free anti-nades. Depends on how comfortable you are. Usually, like, if you're in GM and just got to GM and the enemies, you feel like you're safe enough to play Ana and the enemies are not going to contest you, because it might be discouraging to go against a Tracer that just 1v1s you non-stop and they've been GM for like 5 years and you just got there and you feel like you shouldn't be there. When it's a test, okay? It's a test if you got to be there or not. Then be more confident, you know? I feel like I can force Ana. Play Ana and then swap if it doesn't work, because out of all these heroes, Ana has the highest playmaking potential. Aggressively out of them. Like, for example, you're playing against Cassidy, Lucio, Mercy, Ramatra, Symmetra. If I would play against them, I would be like, can somebody get to me? No. Free nades. Free sleep darts. But if I'd play against Ball, Tracer, and they're pro players, and I'm new to this rating and stuff, I might be a little bit intimidated to play Ana. So you could get away with this more. Okay, so wait, I didn't read this. 502 until 520. I was not able to escape Tracer on this fight because we were so grouped up, and I wonder if there's something I could have done to not die to her. I don't know about the map and stuff, but a quick tip: if you're playing any hero, any support against Tracer, Tracer has insane horizontal mobility. She doesn't have vertical mobility. So, for example, if your team plays from here and you can play from here against the Tracer, then play from here. Okay? Because her job is usually to go for the supports, not for the DPSs or for the tanks. The tank, I mean. Okay, after this I switched to Moira and things got a little bit better. I even got play of the game with your ultimate. Also, I fed in the last fight of this round that it made us lose the team fight in the game, but the whole game was a mess. Scuff games are good games. 502 until 520. Let's see how well you're doing. Down to Clown after the vote give you carry.
Need some assistance?
Wait, I want to see the team fight set up before.
Damage intensified.
Play one game, Kagi.
I need healing.
Okay, you're all regrouping. Some picks happening here and there. Who are you damage boosting?
I'll make sure that
the
doesn't
back.
stop. Come here for healing. Over there. Enemy over here. Enhancing your strength.
Barrier is nearly spent. Barrier unsuccessful.
Oh,
Need some assistance? Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
okay, I can see it. I can definitely see the nerves here. So, hear me out. First things first. Amazing dodges with what you had. It's all about the plan, though. You have to have a plan. Okay, so you get out of here. Let's watch the team fight. Let's watch the team fight from this perspective. Okay, first team fight. Blah, blah, blah. 5 versus 5. Who do I damage boost? Number one thing if you're playing Mercy. Who do you stay with? You don't stay with your Sigma. You don't stay with your Kiriko. So you have the option to pick between Cassidy and Junkrat. Let's see the entire setup from here. Okay, the fight is happening. Sigma died. Teresa died. She's coming back.
I need healing.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, first things first. Tracer cannot one-shot you from this distance. Secondly, Symmetra can't one-shot you from this distance. Thirdly, Lucio, Mercy, and Ramatra are scared shitless. What is Lucio even doing? I mean, yeah, he's having a rough day. So, don't be that afraid, you know? Like right now, what happens if you walk in Garden? You walk in Garden here. And you damage... Cassidy's your damage boost target. You damage boost the Cassidy. What happens? Tracer has to go past walls to get to you. You can always like just kite back. Just stay here. Stay here. Damage boost the Cassidy. He might decide to walk in. But right now...
My senses are sharpened. I'll
You're
make sure that doesn't
instantly
stop.
afraid of the Tracer. You're instantly afraid of her. She can't kill you that fast. If you play around walls, if you play around your allies, then you can just get away with more. Because right now, Cassidy pressuring from here is really good. right? Really good. But he needs the help from you. If you'd be alone, then of course you could be a little
I'm here
bit
for healing.
more afraid of what's gonna happen. Look how you're aware of the Tracer, you know? You heal up the Cassidy, you damage boost them. And one thing, by the way, this is GM, okay? This is GM. We climbed up in ratings, and we gotta talk about this. Do not be afraid to flip the map. What I'm saying with this is the fact that, is the following. If the enemies are playing here, and Tracer's playing here, and this is your spawn, then where there are no enemies? Where are there no enemies? Over here. So if you're playing here, then Tracer, all her hard work of dashing all the way in the back, she has to go all the way over here. And you can just defeat her by walking here onto the left side. Just damage boosting the Cassidy. Damage boosting the Cassidy, playing on the side, and just helping them out. Because right now, if you're playing here in the middle, you're giving Tracer exactly what she wants. Another counter to Tracer, if you can't get to high ground in this case, okay, because you could obviously fly up here or just fly up in the sky and stuff and play in cover, would be to maintain the distance from her, because she doesn't do that much damage, okay, long distance. She has to get close to you. But you playing from here, this side, it would be way better. It's again about the movement. Nobody will turn around. You know how you need to view games in GM if you're playing support? They will not turn around to help you. You have to protect yourself. And the best way to protect yourself, yeah, exactly. I know, pain. It's painful. I know it is. I know it should be like this. But you're the one that's protecting yourself first and foremost. So if Tracer is right side, the biggest counter is go left side. You know? Instead of like taking the fight. Because you're not playing with Ana or Moira to try to contest. And right now, Cassidy's on the side taking a bunch of damage. And this whole decision-making overall was based on you being afraid of Tracer. When I started playing a lot of Overwatch in Season 1, Season 2, I was petrified of Winston. I was 100% petrified of Winston. I'm not joking. When Winston would jump me, I'd be so scared. I thought I would die instantly. I was panicking so much. Until I had somebody hop in, I think it was rank, if I remember correctly, hop in custom games and tell rank to jump me with Winton. And then I could understand how fast I die. Maybe you can do some of the training codes that I have and do some aim practice, even though you're playing Mercy in this case, just to understand the limits of the heroes and how much damage they can do. Maybe playing Deathmatch can help you out with this. Because Tracer will not one-shot you instantly. Playing this afraid against the Tracer is good if you're playing against a Sojourn maybe, a Hanzo, a Widowmaker, or even a Cassidy like this and he has range. You know, you want to get in cover, but like this, because here was like, I'm gonna play the team fight from bird's eye view and follow my cursor. Okay, let's watch this. So, this is going here using dashes. Cassidy's here. I play here. I'm Mercy playing here. Okay, or even here right now. So I'm here. Okay, Trace is still in the back. I'm healing. Oh, I'm playing here. Bum, 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 bum. He's not gonna be low. They're gonna go. Trace is gonna go for me. Oh, she's gonna go for me. I'm gonna go here. GA on top. Maybe play on top over here. Maybe fly over here. Maybe even go for the health pack if I'm feeling cheeky. Maybe just play over here in the sky. So right now I'm chilling here. I'm chilling here, I'm backing out, Tracer shoots me instead of Cassidy, and Cassidy can always turn around and help me. Lucia's dead, Kiriko's close, I can always just fly back to my team over here. Literally 2 or 5 meters away from where you're playing, and the entire team fight would have looked very different. Ranked right now as a support, I would say it's mostly not about what you do in the middle of the team fight, but about pre-planning where you want to approach this. Cassidy would have not died. You would have been able to heal him up because he was under 0.5% of his HP. Okay. You'd have healed him up really fast. He had enough help. He would have had a Riptire. The team fight would have been won. And then afterwards, you can go for the rest. Going for the rest over there, going to the Cassidy, was really risky as well. Whenever things like these happen... Well, let's watch this. The fact that you escape so much, by the way, is really good, though. Where's the Cassidy? He's dead, you're just flying around. Nice dodges, nice heal. Oh, by the way, there's one more thing that you can do when you're playing like this and you're being contested non-stop. Try to crouch spam. Don't crouch spam like this, but crouch spam like Instead of... Because it might be difficult for her to track you, rather than jumping and just walking left to right and stuff. With how you approach the situation, though, is good. It wasn't as bad as you think it was. What is happening? What the... Anyway. Also, wait, you got play of the game with Moira at 6:30. Wait, I want to see this. So you died. We have 4 more minutes remaining. You keep Mercy for the Valk.
Bye. I require medical attention.
You're gonna swap, deciding that you're not gonna do that much. I would have kept Mercy for the Valkyrie in this case. Okay, I would have kept Mercy for the Valkyrie in this case. But you're afraid that you might win the team fight, and then you're not gonna have Valk, and the enemies are gonna contest you. So I kind of understand the swap. Die. I wanna watch the play of the game though. Just go and do your own job. Okay. See, like Moira, if you would have played Mercy the way you would have played Moira, it would have been, you would have felt a little bit different. Because with Moira, you have the possibility of fading, you know? With Mercy, you gotta think about your GA a little bit more to help you out. Okay, nice heals here and there, good positioning. You're already pressuring the enemies a bunch. You know what I mean? Already pressuring the enemies a bunch. Okay, this is where play of the game is gonna happen. You can fit out of that if you're low. Wow, very good at 38 HP. Suzu throwing the healing orb here and there. Not gonna vote give you the Moira part. I just want to see the play of the game. Melee. Good target selection. Very nice. Okay. I want to see the first team fight with Mercy then. No, not this one. I want to see... wait. No, I don't want to watch the last team fight. I want to watch this one here with the Valkyrie. Again, then we're going to hoping vote give you.
My ultimate is ready.
Bad guys.
I'll have you in top condition. Heroes never die.
Okay.
Taking the point.
That was good. Okay, that was good. I just want to say that a lot of people are going to be like, you should have waited until later and stuff. Dude, that was an engaged Valkyrie. You pressed one key and they used 4 ultimates. That was actually a good ultimate. You forced 4 ultimates just out of a single Valkyrie. Winston just jumps off the map. I don't understand what Winston did. 4 versus 4. 3 versus 4.
I am empowering you.
Good Valk usage. That's what I wanted to see there. Let's check out also before this. What's the target selection in this? And then we're gonna go in Olaf review. Winston jumping off the map is not on you.
Bad guys.
Okay. You walk in.
Heroes never die.
A little bit better timing, of course. Half a second, you know. Try to heal him up. Oh, one thing. No reason to like fly all the way over here. I mean, yes, it's good because you're trying to get their attention and stuff, but you could just like went over here and ping them, because this way you could also like fly to Soldier in case you needed help. You could. It's like the same thing that we explained in the first team fight. If you play here, then yes, you have your Valk that can help you close the distance fast, but you're not playing in a position where you can just pivot very easily to your team. If you're playing here, you can help your teammates here and yourself. There's one good thing though about this, the fact that you take their attention. But right now, you have to get in cover because of the high noon. You avoid it. And this is going to break very soon. Oh, it didn't break. Oh my god, you're playing at max range. Holy shit. Anyway, Winston jumps in. This is good. Now, imagine though, if you would have been playing from here on high ground. You'd been able to heal up the Winston, heal up the Kiriko, maybe get to the Soldier here and damage boost him as well. Rather than like playing super safe. Because you're safe already. Right? Like right now what you're doing is you're taking care of yourself, you know? You're trying to play your life. And now Winston just jumps off the map. Going for the guys here was good. And then Soldier dies. You guys can still clutch this if Cassidy lands the shot, damage boosting him. Gum is alive though. Ditch. Now, it's about like, there are 2 main things that I want to cover in this case. 3 main things, okay? And I think that you'll see pretty fast improvement. So, number 1, let's dive into this. Hello? Work? Hello? Okay, so things to work on fast. I wouldn't say you have to work on your aim. You're probably a bit nervous as well. Of course, we've seen Mercy gameplay. We don't know about the Ana gameplay and stuff. We have talking about positioning. This is going to be the biggest one, I would say. And honestly, whenever you're presented with the situation, I feel like you're doing the good decisions. So like, yes, you're going on the right side. That was your decision. But after if you would position yourself better, your decision making would be easier. And that is literally because you're afraid of the enemies. So let's just do it like this. Probably this is actually a little bit lower though. And you know what? Let's just do it like this. I'm okay with this. It's a 5, 11, and 10%. Close enough. Close enough. Okay, so obviously work on your positioning the most. Cooldown and decision making is, I would say, for you a direct consequence of where you position yourself, and that is because you're in GM and it's something new to you. So first things first, Olaf recommends you do the following, and I know how it's gonna sound, and it's gonna sound really forehead, but just play the game. Okay, number 1 thing, just play the game. Sometimes you have to get you need to have more time in this rating. And don't expect instant improvements. But instead of approaching the game by being frustrated, I'm not saying that you were, okay? I'm just speculating here. Instead of like playing the game and being like, I lost 5 games in a row in GM, this game sucks, I shouldn't be here. View it more as a learning experience and as a test, because you can learn a bunch of things in a short period of time. And you'll improve really fast. You can't expect to play your maximum at the highest rating possible if this is the first time you've been there. So take your time, okay? Take your time. Just play the game. Give yourself a break. You might learn the game in like a day. You might learn the game in a week. Eventually, you will see that the stress will wear off. Secondly, play deathmatch. Yes, I'm not joking. Play deathmatch. Because it seems that a lot of the times when you see the enemies, you're too afraid of them. You're afraid that the Tracer can go and one-clip you. You're afraid that the enemies are all synchronized and go for you. You know, if you just play those situations and feel them and see them in deathmatch or even in custom games, then you will see that it's not as bad as you'd expect. GM players aren't like the top, I don't know, MVPs of Overwatch and stuff. Of course, some of them might pop off game to game, but sometimes you might find better diamond players mechanically than GM players, but they do know how to position themselves better, have better cooldown management. This is not an aim game. This is more than just an aim game. They don't have more HP, exactly. Number 3, okay. Let's dive into this though a little bit more. Try to do cheeky positioning. You know what I mean by this? Pivoting, I guess. I hope that's a word. So like, instead of like staying in the back and being defensive and waiting for things to happen and your teammates help you, go left side, a little bit towards the enemies, and be cheeky. You know you shouldn't be there, okay? And when you do that, make sure that you can see the enemies, see allies, and have cover. You're playing really well around the walls. I like it, but you can get away with more. Okay, we covered this. So this is X is where your team is. Y is where you are, right? But if you position yourself here, then this opens the field for your team to reposition themselves here as well. You know? We explained this in the drawing a little bit earlier. So be a bit more proactive with what you want to do. Number 4, and this is a super important one, okay? Super important one. Instead of playing to live, because this is what I'm seeing. You're playing to live, and this is really good at the beginning of GM games. The second you swap to Moira, I saw a bunch of confidence in you, and you started doing things to the enemies. So, what I would recommend is in each game that you play, do 5 things to the enemies and not your allies. What I mean by this is, oh, you throw aggressive damage orbs and you want to focus and not out of position. That's one aggressive thing. You play with Mercy and you split on the left side and make the enemies shoot you instead of your allies, even though the fight still hasn't begun. That's another aggressive play. You play with Ana, and instead of waiting for defensive nades, you throw them at the enemies. So don't... it can be all types of plays, as long as when you're playing, you're instead of like, I play to survive, because that's what I want to do. You have the right approach. I play to survive, okay? I play to survive. I play not to be a liability. But that means that your team has to do a bunch of stuff to win the game. And I feel like if you would have a bit more confidence that you can build with time, no problem, you'd be able to win way more games and feel more in control of what will be the result of the game. So, do 5 things to the enemies. It can be anything. It can be... no. The definition is yours. It can be like the enemies looking at you. Thank you, love. Then brought me a chocolate. Om nom nom. Okay. Olaf just gave then a plink. It can be looking at the enemies. It can be the enemies looking at you. It can be going for even an aggressive if the enemy shoot you. It can be forcing a cooldown. It can be the Tracer using 2 dashes for you. As long as you consider that you are in control, you're the initial thing, you're the one that set in motion that action, it means that you contributed proactively to the team fight rather than playing reactively to what the enemies are doing to you. The basic example, and with this I'm going to finish, is Tracer on the first team fight. Tracer dashed 3 times right side to go for you. Oh, okay, fuck off, I'm going left side. Instant adaptation. She's like, Nani? She's not here? I have to use 1 or 2 more dashes to get to her? That's one thing that you did to the enemy. And slowly but surely, you can add more. 6 things, 7 things, 8 things, 9 things, 10 things. And if you have this idea of starting the game and being like, what can I do to the enemies? You're going to see that you're going to win a lot of more games. And before I finish this, I just wanted to say that you have the right approach in GM games if you feel like you climbed really fast. Your main goal is to not be a liability, as in die a lot. And you're not dying that much. Your positioning is good. Your key is survivability. But right now, you played a couple of games and you want to add to this. So you got this. Don't feel discouraged. Just keep on playing. Do the swaps if you feel like it, because the Moira swap kind of worked. And don't expect a lot of help from your teammates. You're a support in Grandmaster. And sometimes in Grandmaster, your teammates just don't care about you. So welcome to GM. Keep up the grind, and please let me know in the comments if you climbed a bit after this vote review. You got this.